Hear ye, doth we have another recap of iZombie on AfterBuzz TV. This episode, Chivalry is dead. Doth we be more excited than ye, my liege? Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I tried it, guys. Not sure if it actually happened, but I'm sorry I had to sit through that. Welcome back to another iZombie after show, and as well as I'm not as good as Liv at that. But
that was
she
awesome.
Did a
that was pretty good.
Job this episode. But before we get into it, let's introduce our lovely panel. Shawnteairra ship, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just can't wait to talk about this episode.
Yeah, definitely. Drew Jones.
I was gonna say something like Renaissance-y, but the hood and me couldn't get away.
Nakia Monet.
Hey peeps, and for those in the chat, shout out to all you guys. You guys are super awesome. You guys can send us some of your favorite parts of the episode.
And hey guys, Ally Nasta here. I really wish I could talk Renaissance-y.
That was awesome.
That's like, did you ever have people that could speak gibberish?
Yes.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
The closest I can get to it is how they prepped me to learn how to speak an Irish accent.
Oh, how?
Colsy Tolton, Dolsy Dolton, Little Amsy Toivy.
Oh, that's awesome!
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense and I don't know what those words are. So that's the closest we're getting.
Snap.
That's the closest we're getting.
Yeah, when I was trying to come up with it, all I could think of was Abra. And I was like, that's not.
I was going with to be or not to be.
That's not
Like Romeo and Juliet.
When you start saying it, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying, and then you get like blank thoughts. Blank thoughts just happened. But man, Liv killed it this episode.
Yeah.
She turned into the Renaissance queen, my lieges.
Yes.
She did. I don't want to
My
say
lord.
she kept that going the entire episode. Like it was great. I loved it.
Liv, Rose, who plays Liv, I feel like is literally one of the most talented that we have ever seen, because the fact that she can play all these different characters, have do an American accent because she's not American, but then do other accents on top of that blows my mind.
I thought it was wild that she didn't break character at all this episode, because normally we still kind of see Liv in it, and this was very much like the brain.
Shout out to Ivan, because Ivan was saying that in the chat as well. He was asking us how do we feel about that, because like you said, Drew, we normally see her, but this we did not see her at all.
At all. Except at the beginning of this episode, which we should get in to it. So Liv and Peyton, we end last week's episode trying to figure out how Peyton is. We think she's going to be mad at Liv, but obviously they've already surpassed the I'm going to hate you game. They're in it to win it, besties forever. And Peyton decides she wants to help out. Are you guys happy that Peyton's kind of getting into the mix of the zombie world? Does that frighten you that maybe she's going to turn into one eventually?
I don't think she's going to turn. Honestly, none of this surprised me. I felt like this is the way Peyton's going to go, because Peyton's very much like a for the people, like for the better good type of person. So I was like ready for her to jump on.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I agree with you. I don't think she's going to turn into a zombie, but I already knew that she was going to be on board, and especially with Major, of him being a douchebag last episode.
Facts.
Yeah, I knew she was gonna help Liv for sure.
Yeah, I knew she would too, because remember the last episode when it really hurt her heart when she couldn't find the dog for the family, and then I think she felt relief when she can actually do something to help. And Peyton, she's been in this for a while, so she sees the good guys versus the bad guys, and now I know she knows that Liv is actually doing a good thing. So I think we all had that feeling like she's definitely going to get involved for the better, especially to take down Major.
Well, and I think it's great because Peyton does have kind of this. She has a lot of background information that she needs to kind of complete a lot of these missions that Liv has. So it's nice to have not only the police in her back pocket, Liv's back pocket, but also have lawyers there to help her. And obviously we know Peyton is going to be always on the right end of the stick, which is great. And that's not right. What is it? Right end of the stick.
No, I think you had it the right end of the stick.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just made it up. I'm sorry, guys.
It's a thing now.
It's a thing now. You gotta be on the right end of the stick. I guess that's right. If like one's in the ground, you want to be on the up top, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Let's make it happen.
That makes sense. I'm going with it.
Well, Peyton and Liv work together really a lot this episode, and Peyton and Ravi got a little fun love scene going, which it's funny because we haven't seen that as like a straight uphill trajectory. It's like, oh, we forget that they've had a kissing scene here. It's not like this getting thrown in our faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we happy that it's not getting thrown in our faces, or we kind of wish we see more of
I mean, I like them, but I low-key kind of like her with Blaine.
Same.
And I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
agree.
low-key want him to like step in and do something, because even though Blaine is this quote-unquote, and I'm doing air quotes for those who can't see us, bad guy, there is something charming about Blaine that I
No,
somewhat
I
liked. So even like the part remember when Robbie was on heroin, when he was on that brain, and Blaine gives her this look like he rolls his eyes like, ugh, I feel sick. I still kind of want that. They're cute and all, but I want Blaine to step in and
nope, there's too
talk
much
wild.
vanilla loving on this show. I'm here for the Cocoa Puffs and milk all day long. We need some flavor. Come on, like. I need something, and I like what Robbie and Peyton bring out of each other.
I
I
love
just
it
need-
too.
They're hot
I
together.
mean, even with that being said, I think it would still be a little fun if Blaine was, if they were kind of, there was like a love triangle again, you know?
Yeah, and then she picks
that.
Robbie
Only
at the
reason
end.
I'm totally against that is because Blaine is a completely terrible guy, and Peyton deserves way more than
Yes.
Blaine. I'm sorry. This episode, he freaking brought in brother love with Donnie E and Mr. Boss, and they all worked together. This was horrible.
Yeah.
All my favorite
Yeah.
bad guys.
Literally all of them all together as one. I'm like annoyed that they bought the boss back in because he annoys me
Yeah.
as a character. Yeah, I don't know if it's his voice or I think because like when you think of like a bad guy, I don't think of him as being a bad guy. Something about his character just annoys me.
He's like a little meerkat.
Yeah, and it's like everyone's so scared of this little munchkin, little baby. So it's
I
like,
love
okay.
his character, and I don't know if I'm being biased because he did come on the show last season, so I'm like, he's like the nicest guy ever.
I'm
so,
sure he's nice in real
But-
life.
And when he was talking about his character, I was just like, oh my gosh, I like it. I like his character.
Yeah, I like that it's such a guy with such small stature and like seems so chill, but is like super intimidating to all these people. I like unexpected villains, and he just comes off as one of those like you like if you didn't know his character, if you just saw him, you'd be like, oh, he seems like a nice guy.
He's annoying, and I want Blaine to kill him. His character, not him in real life. I want Blaine to kill him for some reason.
Oh my god.
Like if I had to pick a bad guy, it'd be Blaine for sure.
Yeah, but even now that him and his dad are working together, they're like all around bad guys.
I know it's a
It
lot.
just
I didn't like that.
It's crazy because there's so much bad fighting against the good, and Liv's the only one really still doing things all for the good right now.
Yeah.
Because we have Major working with Russ, and I don't know why I forgot this, but we forgot to mention last episode because we were all talking about why Major's acting like this, and in the preview it jogged my memory that he's undercover right now.
Yep.
So he obviously has to work with Russ in order to figure out what's going on because they know that he's giving the black market brains.
But then the question is, how far do you think he would go? You know, because like,
Right.
you know, like Major's a good guy, and I know he's working undercover, but it's like, how far do you think he will go to do more bad things just to, just to make Chase happy?
Right.
Yeah, and I know he's doing his job because you don't want home dude like selling the brains on the black market, but sometimes you look at Major and you're like, okay.
But also, my question was, they go into that warehouse where the two zombies are packaging packaging the brains. I'm just confused because why would they go destroy that? That's what it looks like to me, that they were going and axing those big barrels of brains.
Because they were competition, because those guys went and bought the brain and were repackaging it to resell it themselves, and they were like watering that down to make money off of it, and so they have to go
Oh my
do
gosh,
that
you're a genius.
so that they can show all the other people who would even think of doing that, like, this is what's going to happen. Like, they're making them an example.
Like a scare tactic.
But
Yeah.
that's so ridiculous, and a reason that makes me mad is because freaking, why am I forgetting?
Major?
No, the Institute. What is it?
Oh,
Graves.
Chase Graves.
Fillmore Graves.
Fillmore Graves. Same, I had a brain. Same.
Fillmore Graves is like, they're running out of brains, and they know this. So freaking, who cares? Like, who cares if you've got competition? It's brain mush anyways, and people are out there starving.
Well, because the guy, like, what's his face, isn't what's the guy's name? The redhead?
Ross.
Russ, he is already selling and pushing it on the black market himself. He can't go take that watered down mess back to Fillmore Graves because it's like, where did you get that? Why is that like a thing? You know, like, because like he's already stealing himself, and then he can't go sell that as his own supply because it's more watered down than he sold it originally. So it's like super, super bad product, and people are gonna be like, nah, I'm good on that.
I guess
I
you're
didn't
right.
think about that. Yeah.
It just makes me mad and sad that there's like these zombies out there starving, and then
I
here's
know.
all these brains that they're just throwing away basically,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
pisses me off.
I thought it was just ego, but I mean, I get where you're coming from for sure.
Yeah, well, it's like a lot of like restaurants won't they have food that they have to like throw out legally because they
Right.
can't sell it, and they could easily go donate it to the homeless
Right.
shelter, and they don't. You know,
Yeah.
it just goes to waste.
Ugh.
So
That's actually I was never one of those people that like was told like you have to eat your entire plate, but I hate
was.
wasting food. I do not waste food. Like I will eat my whole plate even because I just like hate wasting it, or I'm the queen of leftovers.
Yes, my little black grandmother did not let me get up from the table as a child until I ate everything on that plate. I sat at the table for like a half hour, an hour.
Yeah.
And then it's like
you can fall asleep at the table, bro. I don't care.
So that's why now I hate wasting food.
I hate it too.
And I'm the person, because I remember I even went to a restaurant and they're like, we're about to throw something away. And I'm like, why
No.
not just give it to the homeless? They're like, we can't. I'm like, so okay, cool.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to Connor in the chat. He says Blaine and Major kind of like in the gray. He said Blaine, even after the cure, though he regained his memory, was trying to be a better person until his dad tried to kill him. Up to now, Blaine wasn't overly evil, just more gray, kind of like Major. It's like they're both in the gray area.
I guess, but I feel as if Major, even though he really makes me angry sometimes, has always had a good intention behind what he's done and the people that he's kind of sacrificed in order for this greater good. But Blaine, it's always been selfish and how he's going to make more money.
That's
So
true.
that's where I don't even think they kind of compare on the Richter scale, because Blaine is always doing it out of the selfishness of it. Of his
Blaine just
money
needs
in
a
his
hug.
pocket.
Right, he does.
That's true.
He needs
He's
love.
going through. He has daddy issues.
He
Didn't we talk
does.
about that?
Yeah, he does.
He needs therapy, he needs love, and he needs a hug.
And oh no, what were you gonna say? Jen?
Oh, I was gonna say also, I feel like he's picked up on the fact that Angus thinks the voice of God is his,
Yeah.
and so I feel like that's gonna still come into play at some point.
It is,
because
because-
you saw the wheels turning.
Yeah.
He's so damn evil, because remember when he tells him, he's like, yes, I got the word from God that this is what we're supposed to do. Because after Brother Love is like, you know, it was raining brains. So I think you're absolutely right. Like, I think Blaine is going to use that to his advantage.
Oh,
Brother
for sure.
Love.
I really thought that this was like a phase. I thought he was just really just trying to bring people in.
Brother
using
Love.
God. Yeah, but no, it's like a real thing. I was like, wow, yeah.
Crazy, and they totally tipped that entire bus of criminals over, and some of them got away,
That
which
turned
is
into
crazy.
a real zombie.
Yeah, that was actually kind of hard to watch for me. I don't know about you guys. It really freaked me out.
It was very Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
And I don't like
But
that.
I like the commentary from Blaine when he was just like, he's not dead. Oh, well, oh,
Yep, there it is.
he's-
Like,
he's
that
dead.
made it funny, because I
Yeah.
think this show, because it is a zombie show, quote unquote,
Right.
but it's not like The Walking Dead or Night of the Living Dead, it still had some humor to it, and we didn't really get that scary side until now. So I think I love how they threw that commentary in, like you said, because it still
bring
had
it
a little bit,
lighthearted.
because it was a
Yeah.
little, someone in the chat even said it was a little terrifying to watch.
It was.
It was much.
Yeah.
It totally was. But kind of going into things that are not really terrifying but really upsetting is the fact that Bosio and Clive. Bosio, I think, needs to just like give Clive a freaking break. Okay, so whatever. He thought that like you caught him doing whatever, but you also didn't tell him the truth of what you were doing. And what is he supposed to do when he hears that you were out at a club with another man?
Yeah.
I just want them to break up.
I'm so over it.
Yeah,
Him
it's-
moping around this whole episode was just annoying.
And I don't like Bosio for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
You know who I would... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, you know who I think Bosio would make sense with?
Who?
Blaine.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That would be so ironic too, because she was the one in the beginning that like was trying to get Blaine in jail so hard.
Yeah.
Yes. But she would also put him in check.
Yeah.
Because she's a boss and like she has this amazing job, and she'd be the one to check him. Like daddy
Oh.
issues, he'd be like a puppy in
Like
her
she
hands.
could finally take him away from the bad that he
Yeah. Because
does.
she's like...
Oh, interesting.
She's like Peyton, but more hardcore.
That's true. That's
I
so
think
true.
That would be an interesting.
I don't
subline.
know. Peyton's hotter, so I'm going Peyton.
But I'm on Peyton with Robbie, so...
Yeah,
Right.
Peyton and Ravi endgame for sure. We
You
still need to
do.
figure out a better ship name for them.
Yes.
Because Pavi wasn't Pavy.
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 Because it's Peyton.
Pavy.
Blaine,
Pavy.
I don't know. I don't know, man. If you guys have any suggestions on ship names for them, we're still trying to figure that one out. Still loving Leave On. Live On.
Ooh.
I see more of him.
Which, yeah, and we do need more of him.
We do.
And I think we're going to get that only because at the end of this episode, we find out that Isabel is immune to being a zombie.
Yeah.
So right before we got onto the show, guys, we were chatting about how is this possible? You know, is Liv getting weaker, or is this a did maybe since she's a younger human, maybe they started giving children some sort of immunity to zombieism or whatever you want to call it.
Because there's all kinds of shots you're required to have when you're younger before you can go into school. Why not just slip in a zombie immunity shot into all of that?
And actually, haven't we still not found where all these cures went?
Right.
Facts.
So maybe they sold them to the other states. And then they were able to replicate whatever that was that Ravi made.
Did someone steal the cure from Blaine? Because didn't he have all the cures?
He did, and it was in the scene where he was in the basement, and then I'm like vaguely remembering it because Donna E was working with Ravi, and they were about to go sell it to that one guy that needed a cure for like $1 million or something. Can you guys help us out?
Yeah, I've been in the chat said Blaine has the cures.
Oh, okay, never mind. I take it back. But that would be really interesting.
But no, but I like the point that you guys are making. Like maybe as children, like Drew and you said, like we have to get these shots when we're really young, so she's probably immune to it. Because when I seen that scene, I was super confused. I'm like, wait, is Liv turning back into a human? Is this little girl lying? Is she actually really a zombie? So it got the conversation started.
Totally.
Yeah. I initially thought that this was like the beginning of them introducing like the cure. I feel like that how Ravi was like working on the cure, and then it kind of just faded away for a while. So I believe that this is gonna come back up for sure.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's
and
what I
they might
thought.
help. Like she might be able to help them find a cure. Maybe whatever. Actually, someone in the chat just said that Renji 90998 says maybe her illness prevents her to be a zombie. So maybe that illness that she has is maybe something that could help them find this cure.
Yeah, kind of like stem cell research.
Yeah,
interesting, man. I don't know. I'm really excited to kind of see where that takes the storyline because I definitely wasn't seeing that coming. But we kind of needed something to kind of stop this whole renegade thing from happening. Because at the end of the day, once this documentary that Levon is putting out is it's not gonna be good for them at all.
Yeah.
I'm just scared. There's a lot of things that I'm scared of now. I guess I could save them all from predictions, but I'm scared for a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are gonna happen.
Definitely scary. One last thing before we get into some brain food of the day, we just really need to talk about what was going on with the whole zombie Thunderdome and Shadow Exiles?
Yeah.
First of all, what a crazy, we have Garrett Drexel who decides to make a zombie LARPing team and then is the only one that's not a zombie.
Yeah.
I get it, he was like a master with a sword and could win all the time, but that just, you're too confident to think that not one thing, and it really is confusing as to how they all just were like so confused that they couldn't save him in time. That's BS.
Yeah, I think this whole episode I was just completely confused because it's like it comes in and he's already dead, and then Clive and them walk in and it's like, okay, they all of them were there when he died, but I would think that all of them would need to come in since no one said anything.
Right.
That whole scene was just weird, and then with even Kevin, Krieger ended up admitting to killing him, and then it's like, oh well, I can just tell the jury this and not go to jail for it. That whole thing I was lost.
I think he's saying, I think he admitted to it because they kind of caught him. So I think he's pretty much saying, yeah, I did it, but the only story that you guys got on me is we didn't know, quote unquote, that he wasn't even a zombie.
What happens next? So I don't have a closure.
It's like they didn't close. It's like pretty much he's saying, yeah, I did it, but you guys can't catch me on it because the story is we didn't know he was even a human.
Yeah, which I think is interesting because one, it's interesting to see them not get the bad guy because they always get the bad guy, and then two, the whole basis of this Garrett guy is that he's honorable and loyal and whatnot, and the person who killed him displays all these different ways of being like he's still a facade of like I'm not actually honorable at all, but he's like doing all these things that make it seem like he was like in the right.
Kind of like that the bad guy got away.
And it was kind of like in LARPing and like Dungeons and Dragons and all that, it's all about strategy and like thinking 5 steps ahead, and that's essentially what this guy did.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he kind of pretty much got away with it.
Do you guys think that this is one of those stories that maybe he's going to loop back around one time or another because he didn't get, they didn't solve the case technically. So do you think he's going to get away with it, or do you think he's going to get brought back into the storyline eventually?
I don't know, because usually iZombie, they've been not weird, but it's been like with the storylines kind of just been cutting off because I think they're just trying to get to the point at the end, I guess, of the season finale. But I think it is interesting that the bad guy got away. So maybe they will loop him back around because I believe the team, they are zombies.
Yes.
So maybe they'll come back. Maybe like, because I have this big thing in my mind that there's going to be some war at the end, and maybe they'll use them because they're used to LARPing and fighting. So maybe they'll be on like a team or something.
Yeah.
That can make sense.
I have a question. You know the guy that, well, right before they brought Keven in, you know the guy that was walking out and he, like, and then I guess Keven was like saying, Steve, and he just kept going. We didn't hear the interrogation with him.
I think basically he just probably confirmed that wasn't Excalibur and probably put 2 and 2 together in his own mind that his homie killed his other homie.
Yeah, and you see how quickly he ran out because he was like, hey, like, you know, you say something to your friend
that's
like,
scary.
hey.
I'd be like, bye.
And they didn't even give him eye contact. So he pretty much was just saying like, I snitched on you, but you have a good night.
Right, yeah. So they probably won't come back around.
Not
No,
my
I guess you're right. But it's crazy when we break it down like this. Sometimes we're like, wow, I don't feel like that much went down. But a lot went down, and even though it was a very Liv-centric episode, and she did a phenomenal job being the Renaissance lady that she was, there were a lot of other storylines going on. So it'll be really interesting to see how they tie this all up. But you know what? Liv was fun. She was hilarious. And I definitely think that she could benefit from the podcast that Maria Menounos puts together because everybody could. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, from health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and so much more. Let our Maria be the best friend that you've always wanted and the big sister as well. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free, guys. It's free. You just download it and you can listen to it anywhere. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that it was us, the iZombie gals, that brought you there.
We did it.
Again, Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. It's free. Go check it out. Download it right now.
Just want to
so
bring
amazing.
something around. That is such an amazing podcast. Our very own Ally was on it, so it's pretty dope.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's so much fun. Like the conversations that she has on with all the different talent, ranging from writers of books to actors and producers and directors. It's just awesome. So, and it's great for everybody too. And she's fun, and there's fun little quirky news stories. So definitely go check it out, guys. It's amazing.
I love it. Quickly, the people in the chat, hey peeps, they were just reminding us that this is actually the second time that the killer got away. Remember the young lady who killed her mom with the air conditioner unit?
Yeah.
And it fell on her head? So thank you guys in the chat for that.
That's so true. And I guess you're right. She's gone.
She's out of here. She's on a
She
bus
didn't come
somewhere.
back. Yeah. She didn't come back. But guys, it's time to get into our favorite segment of the week, Brain Food.
I love this.
But I love it.
It really does creep me
It's
out.
the last part that gets me.
So tasty.
Have you guys ever seen the soup when it would go so
Yeah.
meaty?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
With Joel McHale.
Yes,
I loved
that's
it.
true.
Oh, you're so amazing.
I hated this. This is my least favorite brain
When
food.
they put the apple in the brain.
Oh,
You guys
I'm
in
so
like
confused.
you guys in like the
No, I was-
1500s roasting the pig, roasting the brain.
I was afraid if someone was going to walk up behind me, they'd be like, girl, what are you watching?
Literally, it's like a creepy like a YouTube tutorial on
Yeah.
what's going on.
It was gross, but I get why they did it because it was like medieval food and it's like having a
Yeah.
pig on a stick. But the way it looked, and then when the brain was actually cooked, I'm like,
And they
whoa.
try,
I was like-
they try to make it look pretty even with the food like around it.
No.
I'm like,
No,
still not
Renaissance
working.
food creeps me out because it's like
Yeah.
doesn't look fully cooked ever, and like it's just like a bunch of green stuff and like full carrots.
It's like
just
animals
creepy.
that I feel like they didn't cook fully back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like pigs just sitting
Ugh.
there.
It did make me want to go to medieval times, though.
Did you guys?
Best
Okay,
place
so
ever.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I just got
I've
super excited.
never been to medieval times, but have you guys been to the Renaissance Fair here?
No, we should go.
So they have a Renaissance Fair in LA, which I thought it was kind of fitting that it was around the same time. And I went a couple years back for work, and it's actually really cool. And they have a bunch of like people camp out there. Like this is people's they camp and they dress up in all the get up and everything. And I was talking to some of the people that get involved in all of this, and it's so freaking cool. And they had those, you know, like the metal that they wear.
Yep.
The mesh or
Like
whatever.
yeah, when you put that on, it is legitimately a second body that you're putting on.
no.
It is so heavy and hot, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's really cool.
I'm down for it because I love stuff like that in
We
medieval
should
times.
go.
We should just go.
We should
It's
go
fun.
medieval times because you get to drink and then like the
Okay, I've
knights
never been.
throw roses at you and it's
I want to go.
you root
Yes.
for a night. It's so fun.
I do want to.
I'm down.
I want to say, Ivan in the chat, he actually brought something to my attention. He's like, I thought zombies needed hot sauce. Liv doesn't even put hot sauce on her brains anymore. I'm confused.
Oh.
Do you think that's
I
a thing
think-
that they're kind of
I
growing
don't
out of?
think they needed hot sauce. It was more of like an extra flavor.
Yeah.
Like I think she's just so over like
Her
trying
taste
to
buds
like
are dead.
yeah, she's like I just the brain is what makes them excited and taste good, but it was like the hot sauce gave them some sort of flavor other than brains.
Yeah.
Like a kick.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the chat love the food. They said it looked delicious.
Well, I'm glad that you guys thought it looked
Maybe
good.
the outside.
It creeped me out a bit, especially with the apple.
The
but,
apple was gross.
You know, to each their own. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. But Shawnteairra, you have some fun, lovely news and gossip,
I do.
don't ya?
AfterBuzz TV News.
Love it. Okay, so few things. I'm gonna try to run through this. So Major, whose name is Robert Buckley, he went on the Hollywood medium Tyler Henry, the show. He was on there, and so basically his dad's brother Jerry ended up like committing suicide.
Oh my
like
gosh.
when he was like in his 20s, and so Tyler was just saying how that Jerry was just basically saying that he's watching over his dad and he appreciates him for traveling to Texas at the time and pretty much taking care of everything. Which Major was like, Robert was actually like, I'm gonna definitely let my dad know. Like that's what happened. They had like a little moment.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I thought that was very interesting. Surprised to see him on there. Blaine, David Anders, he was on the podcast. An actor, a comedian, and a musician walk into a bar. I listened to it. It's about an hour. It's hilarious. It's so funny. And at the end, Blaine sings, which I thought, yeah, he sings.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And he sings Al Green.
Makes me love him
Yes.
even more.
That's one of his favorite karaoke songs, so he sang that. He also mentioned that he shaved his head, but don't be alarmed because he said he did it also last season, and right now they're on hiatus, and he said it's probably going to go back within the next couple months. So.
Ally and I were talking, Blaine's hot, but like if you think about him as like qualities, it shouldn't make sense.
Right.
But it just
But you like don't know why. You're like, ooh.
His
Yeah,
character,
yeah,
it just makes him
hey.
even more high. I don't know what it is.
he
Yeah.
had some sexual innuendo on the show, and I don't remember what it was. But me and Ally were like, oh.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
think I remember what it was, but we're not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
And Ally Machalka.
I'm like, oh
Peyton.
me?
Very interesting. I actually gave up like buying water bottles, and I was like, I need to stop buying water bottles. It's bad for the
Environment.
Yeah, it's bad for the environment. But she actually said that she's not gonna buy plastic water bottles anymore. And I thought that was random. And she attended the Race to Erase MS. It's the cure for multiple sclerosis. And she's been going since 2008. She was actually there. It was at the Beverly Hilton on Friday. She looked
Nice. gorgeous.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
She's been going
definitely.
since 2008. So
That's so cool.
pretty
Definitely
faithful.
really cool.
Last but not least, Isabel, the girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whose real name is Isabella Vidovic. I hope I pronounced that right. She's only 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
She looks really young, so I had a feeling she was around that age. But she has her own nonprofit called Passion for Compassion.
Wow.
And it's awareness for craniofacial disorders, and she raises money to fund for comprehensive care. And she also is the founder of Almost Normal Productions, which is based in Glendale.
Oh, wow.
At 16 years old, I feel like
Listen
she's
to the
wild.
kids.
I'm like, she's goals.
I'm slacking.
Listen to the kids. I need to get my life
That
together.
literally,
Right.
it's like she's only 16. What have
Yeah.
I done with my life? I've got about like a couple years on her. That's not good.
Oh my goodness.
Also, I saw on Daniel Bonjour's Instagram that he actually played her dad in a movie back.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it was like 10 years ago or something.
Wow, that's
That was
wild.
really fun. But you guys can check that out on his Instagram. Let's get into some flash lightning predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, are we gonna start?
I
with me?
literally zoned out for a second.
Throw it to me.
I was like, what?
I think we all four of us zoned down. I was so hypnotized.
Y'all were tripping.
Our brains are gone.
I know.
Like the zombies have eaten our brain. But I think we were all hypnotized because we all were like,
I'm looking at Ally like, are you gonna cue me?
no, that was
I
awesome.
just watched that back because I literally like my brain just like I thought it like as soon as I heard the ooh.
Yeah, I was hypnotized just
Oh
now.
man, all right, Shawnteairra, go for it.
So, well, my prediction, only one I wrote down was progression of Robbie's cure. I feel like that was kind of like a little teaser. And then, yeah, I don't really have another one. Yeah.
That's good.
My prediction is, so the money that Peyton brought to them obviously is Mr. Boss's money. So I think now not only do they have to be careful of, Fillmore Graves, but now they also have to worry about this whole
man.
Mr. Boss and his whole crime circle. So I don't think it's smooth sailing ahead. I think it's going to start getting real messy again.
Agreed.
Same. Definitely gonna say this. When I said earlier what my fear is that Blaine is gonna get a vision and he's gonna know, he's gonna know that Peyton is the one who took the money. So I'm actually scared to see because he
Oh my gosh,
low key
that's so
loves
right.
Peyton. So so it's one of those things where he like this is another chance. Does he choose the bad side or will he go with his boo Peyton? So that's what I'm predicting, and I do believe Isabel's disease is going to be something that acts as a cure some way somehow. So I'm interested to see those two things.
I have a prediction that Clive is going to find out about the scratching.
Yeah.
And then that's going to add some sort of crazy complex between their relationship because he's not going to know what he's not going to know what to do.
Are you laughing at my jacket getting stuck? It's fine.
I'm like, you're struggling. No, Drew just looked at me and gave me the funniest look. Guys, I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. But as always, yeah, I think that's my prediction. And as always, we want to give you guys a lovely shout out. We appreciate you fans so much. And it just makes it so much fun every week to see you guys in the chat, chatting us up, giving us your predictions, giving us your thoughts. Please go download the iTunes podcast, rate us, tell us what you want to see, if you want to see more of something, and make sure you comment below, let us know your thoughts, and as well as tweet us. We love getting your tweets. But Nakia, you want to give a lovely shout out to one of the fans in the chat today?
I do. I'm reading some really interesting conversation that's going on, but I'll speak about that later. Let's give a shout out to, there's so many great comments. You guys are great. Can I give a shout out to two people?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my girl Nakia Emanuel, not because we have the same name, but she's pretty awesome. But I definitely want to give a shout out to Connor, not your business, because he's literally been hitting us with the facts all episode.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. We love you so much. We love you every week. And I guess that kind of brings our week to a close.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to chat about all things iZombie next week. But Shawnteairra, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me all over at Shawnteairra.
Drew Jones.
And I'm Drew Jones. You can find me on all the things at OKDrewJ or in an hour on the Famous in Love panel.
Nakia.
You guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom Famous in Love panel, and Thursdays on Jersey Shore.
Woo! Hey guys, Ally Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at AllyGirl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. We love you. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.